How do you deal with imposter syndrome?
Imposter syndrome. Just like leaning on my chem sis. Like,
okay, got you.
That's one thing. They'll lift me up. Even like my friends, my core group of friends that aren't necessarily in the same industry as me, like they lift me up too, and they hype me up, and they make me feel like the baddest, the baddest chemist in Maryland. Like, can't nobody tell me nothing.
Hi, I'm Rich, and welcome to Evolve, the podcast where we talk about the necessary steps and hurdles required to working towards your goals and ultimately evolving into the best version of yourself. And our first guest today is a special guest, okay? She's our very first guest. She's a degreed woman. She's got a couple of them things. We'll start off light. Honors high school graduate, you know what I'm saying? Then we're going to go to the Bachelor's of Science in Mathematics. Then we're going to go to the Master's of Science in Industrial and Physical Pharmacy and Cosmetic Sciences. It's a lot of ands in that degree. That's what I'm going to say. The degrees stop, but the bags get heavy. Okay, she's a content creator with over 24,000 followers across all of her social media platforms. She's also an entrepreneur. She's the CEO and founder of Kishana Enterprises Incorporated, which houses Kishana's Cosmetic Lab. See, this lab does everything. They do cosmetic research. They develop labs that specialize in the formulation of cosmetic care, skin care, hair care, feminine care, men's care, baby care, bath and body products. Kishana Cosmetics Lab has the whole family covered. But my favorite bag from her is her philanthropist bag. Under the umbrella of Kishana's Cosmetics, she's been able to give over $2,000 to high school graduates through her STEM scholarship. But I'm going to stop throwing our flowers on the stage. Today's guest is the one, the only, Milan K. Scott.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Honestly, Milan, I got to start off by saying thank you.
Of course.
Having you here in itself has been a journey, so many moving parts. The first time we were supposed to do this, I got sick. And Milan has been so understanding through all of this. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for coming on.
Of course, anytime, of course.
And I also got to say that I'm really proud of you. You know what I'm saying? I was in the same high school class as Milan, same college class as Milan. And just to know you as a freshman in high school, to see you as the person you are today, I just hope every day you're waking up and really looking in the mirror and really saying, like, I'm her. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting it done.
Thank you. Yeah, period.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to start from the early days.
Okay.
You're currently working on the manufacturing side of personal care products, but like following your journey, it seems as if your love for beauty products led you to where you are. What are your earliest memories with makeup, and what originally drew you to it?
Yeah, so thank you for your question. My earliest memories with beauty and makeup and all of that probably comes from like elementary and middle school, because I went to like a really conservative Christian school. We weren't allowed to
Shout
wear
out to
nail polish.
G.E. Peters.
G.E. Peters. We weren't allowed to wear makeup. We couldn't wear, nails and all of that stuff. So I would like go to the bathroom in class, ask to raise my hand, go to the bathroom and go put on eyeliner or something or mascara. And I would come back and the teachers would be like, I just say, no, you can't do that.
Got you.
And so that's probably my earliest memories. And since then, I've just been like falling in love with beauty and making people feel beauty in themselves, whether that's physical or whether that's internal. Just like beauty as a whole, which is really why I got into this industry. But when I was younger, that definitely is probably the earliest memories of cosmetics. And then when I got to high school, I was able to like really develop that passion for the beauty industry, because that's when I was able to like, start doing makeup for my friends for like banquets and like prom.
Got you.
And stuff like that. And, choir performances and stuff like that. And so that really solidified my like passion for beauty.
Got you.
Yeah.
You talked about high school. We grew up in the era where social media really solidified itself as an outlet to learn things, but it also gave birth to people really building their brands based on their love or knowledge of different hobbies. Which influencers in the beauty space really made an impact on you?
Oh, yeah. So like initially, like the beginning for me?
Who kept it going as well?
Yeah, so trying to think, like I was definitely on YouTube back then, like just getting into the beauty industry. And I remember I used to be like real heavy on like hair, like doing my hair and stuff like that. So I used to watch Malibu Dollface.
Okay.
And he would like slay the wigs and stuff like that. And that really got me into like hair. And then, of course, like going into high school, I was really into like Alyssa Ashley and her sister Arnell. And then, of course, Jackie Aina and like stuff like that.
Got you.
And I think now, like, seeing so many influencers right now on Instagram, you don't have to go to YouTube anymore to, like, see these creators. You can really go on Instagram, TikTok. They're even on Twitter and Snapchat and stuff like that. So I think it's really cool how the creation space has kind of evolved from, I have to go to YouTube to see how to do my eyelashes versus, I can just scroll on Instagram and see, like, a 3-second reels of how to do my eyelashes and stuff like that. So I think it's really cool how that space has evolved and made space for like smaller content creators.
Got you. Yeah. Do you think if you were a high school kid now at this current time, do you think that you would have want to hopped on to the content creation side of beauty?
Yeah, I mean, even in high school, like when I was doing my makeup in my room, I would be pretending like, welcome to my channel. And there's literally no camera, no lights, no nothing. And I'm just literally talking to myself in the mirror. But I definitely... I didn't think that I would have like a career where I'm like always having to post on Instagram and always having to partner with brands and stuff. But I definitely was drawn to that space. I guess just because of the way that like I loved beauty and I love I'm an attention girl, right? So I like talking to myself in the mirror, pretending like I have my own channel and stuff like that. So I definitely think back then I was interested in it, but I didn't know how to develop that career path for myself. But now that I'm able to and I can see it, like I love it and I love the space that I'm in.
Got you. Yeah. We're going to go from high school to college. I know while in undergrad you were a math major, considering a career in engineering, a field so many people pursue for job security. What did it require from you mentally to leave that behind and say, I'm going to get a master's in cosmetic science?
Oh my goodness. It was very intimidating.
For sure.
Like, I just paid however much money for this one degree.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to go and switch to a whole different industry. Like, it was like my mom had, like... my mom actually... It wasn't my mom. I had to get her on board at first, but once, like, she was on board, she was, like, sending me, like, schools that had the programs and stuff like that. So she was very... I guess supportive, but I had to take her there. You know what I mean?
Got you.
Especially as a West Indian parent, like family.
Trust me,
like,
I understand.
You got to have a plan, pretty much.
For sure.
But yeah, it's very intimidating going from one industry to a next because you really don't know if you'll succeed in that industry. You don't know if you have what it takes in that industry. You'd have to find whole new networks and connections in that industry versus like in the math industry.
Yeah.
But yeah, the reason why I actually changed from math to science or to chemistry was really because I was always good at math. Even in high school, like I got a 5 on the AP calculus test.
Okay.
Like I was like really good at math.
Humble
I used to
flex.
tutor. Okay, period. I used to like tutor my friends and stuff in math because it just came easy to me.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Not even trying to brag or anything.
No,
you know
you're
what
being
I mean?
honest.
Like,
I remember college times you were the calculus plug. If you had a calculus question that you couldn't find on My Mathway, call Milan. No, I got you.
Right. So yeah, I just was always good at math. So that's why I figured I'm good at it. I might as well do a career that incorporates math and somehow. And so I decided to get my bachelor's in pure mathematics. It wasn't applied or anything like that. It was just pure mathematics. And so closer to like my senior year of college, I was just feeling like super unfulfilled in that industry. I had done like internships and stuff where I was feeling like this is not really something that I'm interested in doing long term. And so when I was starting to think about, okay, what are the next steps? I'm about to graduate. What am I going to do next? My roommate at the time, you know Jill.
Love Jill. Jill's a great person, yes.
She was actually the one that put me on because she had met a cosmetic chemist and was like, I think Milan would be really interested in this. And so she brought it to me. And that's how I even knew what this industry was. And so she brought that to me. And then I thought about the time when I had met with Dr. Pollard from Oakwood University. And we had talked about, like, if there was anything in the world that you wanted to do, then money wasn't a factor. What would you do? And I always said, like, something with beauty.
Okay.
And so that took me back to that space. And so I was like, you know what? I am going to go and see what I can do in this space and see if I can fit myself into this space, even though I have a math background. And it turns out that having a math background really is complementary to the chemistry that I'm doing. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when you have a math degree and you're studying for a math degree, it teaches you to think critically. And so because I'm able to do that, I can now apply it to developing formulations. I can think critically. If my, the stability of my formulation isn't working, I go back to my math and I'm like, okay, I got to figure out how I'm going to solve this problem.
Absolutely.
And so I just apply that to what I'm doing now. And I think it complements each other. So even though I'm not technically doing something that's specifically math or math related, I guess.
It definitely helped.
It definitely helped. And so I
you.
think God was really like leading me for real,
sure,
because
for sure.
who would have thought that a math degree would have been complementary to my chemistry degree? And
Yeah,
at the
for sure.
time, I didn't even want anything to do with the sciences. It was
Yeah.
really just math. So he definitely led my steps in that way.
Got you. Were there any prereqs that you had to take while you were applying to go to?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I got a BS in math, so I did have to take some science classes in undergrad, like
Yeah, for sure.
biology and, chemistry 101.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was applying for these schools, a lot of them required the master's programs.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them required that I have taken like organic chemistry 1
Mm-hmm.
and 2 with a lab. And so the summer between my graduation from Oakwood to the start of my master's program,
Mm-hmm.
I had to take a couple of classes. So I ended up taking organic chem 1 and 2 with a lab, each one.
During the summer?
During the summer. So it was very rigorous. I didn't have a life that summer, honestly.
What was your mental like, knowing that this was the sacrifice you needed to get to the other side?
Yeah, I mean, I knew I had to do what I had to do
Got
because
you.
this was a passion of mine, and I knew that I have to make it work. I'm coming in kind of like an underdog. I hate to say that, but I really was kind of like an underdog because I didn't have that background. I needed to have a level playing field with my peers in my class and stuff like that. And I will say at LIU, which is where I did my master's program, I was the only black girl in my whole program. And so I really, thank you. So I really just feel like that helped me to like build my confidence in myself because I did end up taking those classes and those
Gotcha.
prerequisites in order to have a level playing field with people who had chemistry degrees
Gotcha.
and had extended their whole life. They knew they wanted to be a chemist, and I'm just coming into here. I had to make sure that I was on the same level as everybody else.
Got you.
And even better,
I want to ask you about the specifics of that degree, but I do want to speak on the fact, like you said, you were the only black girl in that department, in that program. What was that like every day, knowing that you're the only person here, and being in spaces where you're not often seen? Sometimes you feel like you're the representative for a group of people.
Literally, yes.
So how did that feel, going to class every day, knowing I am the only person of this complexion in here?
It definitely felt like a big responsibility. I felt like I couldn't slack the way that my other peers were slacking. And I went to black schools my whole life. I went to a black elementary, middle school. I went to a black high school. I went to HBCUs. I went to Howard. I went to Oakwood.
Shout out.
And now I'm in this space where I'm the only black woman. It doesn't even make sense to me. You know what I mean? Like, I now have to navigate a world in which nobody looks like me. Nobody has the same background as me. Nobody has the same culture as me. And so it was very intimidating not having anyone in that capacity. But I will say the type of person that I am, like my personality is one in which, like, if I need an answer, I'm going to get an answer. And you'll give me the answer.
For sure.
I'm going to keep asking until you give me the answer.
Absolutely.
And so I remember in my program, like, a lot of our teachers were like Indian and like Pakistani and like come from that region of the world. And so a lot of the professors, like I would go and ask them, okay, well, that's cool. This topic that we're learning, but how does that apply to ethnic skin? How does it apply to dark skin? Not ethnic skin, ethnic hair and textured hair and dark skin. And a lot of times they were not able to answer those questions for me. And so it would really get me frustrated because I'm like, I'm a black woman.
Yeah.
Why is this standard only Caucasian, blonde hair, blonde straight hair? We should have, learning for all types of people,
Yeah, for sure.
Asian hair, Hispanic hair, black textured hair.
Yeah.
And so I think I really got on my professor's nerves in that way because I'm the type of person that I'm going to ask a question.
And you're going to answer
the
me.
next class period, you need to have an answer for me or else I'm going to ask you again.
Got you.
And so I think I challenged my professors in that way. And
Got
so
you.
that really helped to, I guess, boost my confidence in what I do now because I was able to get such, I guess, the answers that I needed at the time. And so now I'm able to build products for textured hair and ethnic skin. And if I never asked those questions, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that's why we need a lot more representation in this industry because if it's not us developing these products,
Then
no
who?
one's going to do
Right.
it. Right. And so
You already kind of answered this question, but I still want to go ahead and ask it. Obviously, outside of the difference in demographic, what were some of the things that you learned about yourself doing your bachelor's of science in math and then your master's in cosmetic science?
like the differences between the two.
No, learn about yourself personally.
Oh,
like
about myself.
those journeys. What did they teach you about Milan?
Yeah, so my bachelor's degree, I would definitely say that I learned to be, what's the word, persistent, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Getting a math degree is not easy.
Nope.
Like the levels of math that you have to reach, I feel like a rocket scientist. Like
Yeah.
that's really how it feels sometimes. But it taught me tenacity. It taught me to really like foot on the gas. It taught me to like put my head down, focus, and do what I need to do in order to reach goals. And it also, again, taught me how to think critically. Whereas my master's program really taught me to delve deeply into my passion and don't ever like take your foot up off the gas when you're dealing with your passion. Like if you know that by age 30 I need to be doing this, like I need to like work really hard now so that by that time I'm able to reach that goal and then I can chill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think my master's program taught me that. Of course, they taught me like the technical stuff, like formulating and stuff like that.
Milan, I wasn't concerned about you learning that. Nah, I knew you were going to get that. I know who Milan is. Absolutely.
But yeah, that's a little bit about what I learned about myself.
Okay, got you. There's a book. It's called How Successful People Grow. It's by John C. Maxwell. In the book, he talks about being a cheerleader from yourself. A direct quote from that book is, every time you do a good job, don't let it pass. Give yourself a compliment. Has it been easy for you to acknowledge and celebrate your accomplishments?
Definitely.
It has been.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And I want to say, like, I do like post when I get like an award or something.
Okay, yeah,
I'll
for
post
sure.
it on Instagram, and that's like an acknowledgement. But the like, what is the word that you call it? Like when you feel like you're not adequate as your peers.
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome.
Yes.
Exactly. That's exactly how it feels sometimes. But I will say that I am in a space and in an industry where I've met so many other Black chemists now, being in this industry, and they've welcomed me with open arms into this industry. And so I'm just so thankful for that. And I have so many mentors. I have so many friends, and we call each other ChemSys.
Okay, got you.
That we can reach out to if we have questions or like just need to lean on each other. And so, yeah, that's kind of a little bit about that.
Yeah, you already started to talk about it, but how do you deal with imposter syndrome?
Imposter syndrome. Just like leaning on my ChemSys, like
okay, got you.
That's one thing. They'll lift me up. Even like my friends, my core group of friends that aren't necessarily in the same industry as me, like they lift me up too, and they hype me up, and they make me feel like the baddest. You know, like the baddest chemist in Maryland. Like can't nobody tell me nothing, and that's really how it feels. And also my family, like I know that I can lean on them for support, and so at times when I'm feeling like dang, like. This week has been one of those weeks, too, like where I'm just feeling like, dang, it's like one thing after the other. I'm getting knocked down. Like my business is not where I want it to be at this week or like this month or whatever it is. And like just the people around you like really lift you up and make you feel like this is exactly where you need to be.
Exactly.
And God's brought you this far. He's not going to let you fall. And I just have to keep like reiterating that statement to myself when I start to feel like imposter syndrome or feel like I'm not where I want to be at.
Gotcha. You said this week was rough, so talk me through it. How did you get through it so far? You know what I'm saying?
I'm still going through it.
Still going through it. Still going through it.
Listen, some weeks are good. That's the reality of being a business owner. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Months and weeks can go by and you be like really good, and then the next month you're like, how am I going to pay my bills this month? Like, it's like that type of thing. But you got to be built for it. You got to be made for it, and I'm made for it. And that's
for sure.
Right now. So
for sure.
I'm still getting through it, but I know, I keep saying it in my head, God has not brought me this far to let me down. And he's always proven to me that I can get through anything he puts in front of me. So.
Got you. No, I understand. Yeah. You've talked about it already, but let's talk about it some more. How important has self-belief been on the journey?
It's been very important, and I know, like, it's self-belief, but it's really like God belief. Like,
got you.
He works everything out, so I don't even have to like worry about anything. So like sometimes when it's like, dang, I got this project and I can't figure out how to make it work. I can't figure out the stability of this project, and we're getting close to a deadline, and I know if I don't meet that deadline, then it's going to be a lot of problems. And it's just like, you've been here before. I got to tell this to myself. And it really, I really think it is like God speaking to me.
Yeah.
But it's in my head, and I'm just like, you've been here before. You've crossed over this bridge before. Do it again. Like, that's how I feel. Like, do it again. Yeah. And so that helps with, like, also the imposter syndrome. That's how it helps. But self-belief is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you don't believe in yourself, who's going to believe in you?
Exactly.
You know, you got to be able to at least fake it.
Yeah, sure.
And that's one of these weeks. Right now I'm faking it. I'm not going to lie. It's been a hard week, for real.
I understand. With you growing up around your grandmother being an entrepreneur, do you think seeing her balance business, balance life, did she make it like believable, doable for yourself?
Absolutely. I have so many women in my family. The women in my family go hard with business.
Okay,
I'm not
got
gonna
you.
lie. I have my grandmother is a serial entrepreneur. My aunt owns a nonprofit. She's a lawyer. She runs my grandmother. She's a CFO of my grandma's company. My other aunt owns a law firm. Like all the women in my family are really doing the thing. So it just felt like a natural progression for me to also get into that space. So the entrepreneur space at least. But yeah, my grandmother has been like a place where I can go and release stress that comes with business. Like I can go to her and say, I need help figuring this problem out, whether it's business or, you know, whatever personal. She's been that person that's like my mentor in business. So I've seen her give back. I've seen her, you know, go through stuff and lose all her money and get it back. Like it's like that type of thing. Like, and I know like she's done it and I can do it too, because I know I can go and talk to her and figure out, you know, how can I do better next time? Like, and she's definitely been like that support and that mentor that I needed to like, every business owner should have a mentor like that, that you can go to when you have problems. But she's been that for me.
Yeah. You talked about mentors, but it seems like you have a strong sense of community.
Absolutely.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how important would you say community is for any business owner?
10. Networking with other business owners, people who have the same goals as you, being able to bounce ideas off of people. Surround yourself with people who are better than you so that it's easier for them to pull you up. You don't want to be surrounding yourself with people who like are not really doing nothing all day. They don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they're not going for their goals and stuff because it's easy for you to fall into them.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you surround yourself with people who are like better than you and they're doing better than you, they'll pull you up. And that's really what community is for me.
Gotcha.
They make me want to go harder. They make me want to do better. You see my group of friends. All my
sure.
friends are like
Ballers.
entrepreneurs. They're making their money. They're going to their jobs if they're not an entrepreneur. They're making content online. They're doing it.
Yeah.
And so I think that we really bounce energy and ideas and all of that off of each other. And if I see an opportunity that would be good for my friend, I send it to my friend. They'll do the same for me. And so that sense of community really allows people to get where they want to be in life. And it, like, I know everybody knows that saying. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Of course.
Exactly. So that's 10 out of 10.
10. Okay.
Yes.
Do you think it's important to have community outside of your field of work, though?
Outside of my field of work?
Yeah,
absolutely.
How important have they been as well?
Okay, so are you talking about like the beauty industry?
No, I'm talking outside of the beauty industry, outside of content creating, outside of anything that's going to put money in your pocket. That community that you align yourself with, how important have they been to you?
They've been very important because, like I said, leaning on them, they might not be able to purchase a product from you, but you can lean on them and vent to them when you're having problems or whatever. And it's not necessarily that, you know, they're doing something for you that makes them a part of your community, but you guys have a mutual relationship where you can bounce but you can bounce energy and good vibes off of them, and the same for them. So,
Got you.
Yeah, community is so important.
Got you, yeah.
Even if they're not in the same industry.
Got you.
Yeah.
This next question is brought to us by Take 10, a show on Optimal Media where we ask you to use your imagination and to take some time when you answer. We don't mind if you take more than 10 seconds, but we ask that you at least take 10.
Okay.
Now, Milan, your question is, you're working in collaboration with a big sunscreen company to formulate and promote a sunscreen for Black and brown people while highlighting the importance of sunscreen for people of color. You must pair anyone you've ever worked with or anyone that you know personally with a celebrity to shoot an ad for this sunscreen. Who are you pairing together and why? It's okay. You got 10 seconds. Take your time.
I'm trying to make sure I understand your question. So if I'm creating a sunscreen for a brand, you're saying who would I get to be the face of the brand? Yeah,
so you're going to shoot, like, you know how you see like a cologne ad, you'll see two celebrities or you'll see one celebrity. You have to pick somebody that you know, and you have to pair them with a celebrity, and they're going to be the face of this brand. Or someone that you worked with.
A sunscreen brand. Let me think about it. Okay. I have 10 seconds, right?
Yeah, I have 10. Because,
you know, it's hard to get black people to wear sunscreen anyway.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, who do I
is.
know that's black that stay with their sunscreen?
All right, if I give you a backdrop, you think it would make it a little easier for you?
Sure.
Okay, we're in Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? There's palm trees. The water is there. So the palm trees are to the right. You can see the beach. The water's coming up. The sand looks nice. The sun is not high. It's about to set. It hasn't set. It's like that perfect yellow-orange tint. Okay, we're going for something where not completely revealing, but you can see the skin because it's a sunscreen ad. Let's do male. Let's do female. We'll do man. We'll do woman. So you let me know which one you want to do.
Okay. I'm going to say something unconventional.
Okay, talk to me.
I would go with my son.
Okay.
Because babies need sunscreen
Of
too,
course,
you know?
of
It would be a
course.
kid's sunscreen. And I would pair him.
Got to pair him with a celebrity now.
Yeah.
Which celebrity
Someone
do you?
who's wholesome, you know? Auntie Tab.
Auntie Tab. That's a great
Tabitha
answer.
Brown.
That's a great answer.
Because, you know, she got the flawless skin.
Flawless
She
skin.
got the she's just very put together, you
Got
know?
you, got
So
you.
we got mom, Auntie Tab, and then we got baby. Because it's like they're both black.
Yes, of course.
The baby needs sunscreen. The mom needs sunscreen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They both have great skin.
For
so,
sure.
yeah, I would definitely do that.
Got you. That question had a little bit of content in it and a little bit of running a business, a little bit. But which challenges you more, consistently creating content or running a business?
Running a business. Creating content itself can be kind of hard sometimes just because it's like you always have to be creating content. And sometimes you just want to enjoy the moment.
For sure.
Or you just want to get the work done. You
Yeah,
don't want
for
to have
sure.
to record yourself doing it. But it's nothing compared to running a business.
Yeah, for
Running
sure.
a business has so many different aspects to it. You gotta be starting out. If you don't have a team, if it's just you working, you got to be all parts. You got to be the formulator. You got to be the CEO. You got to be the accountant. You got to be the receptionist. You know what I mean? Like you got to do a lot of different parts. Whereas just creating content is kind of like you put up at least for me, you put up a camera, you record what you're doing, or you go to some place and you record what you're doing. It's hard to get that consistent, content going out there, but it's nothing compared to running a business.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Definitely harder.
Okay, got you. We talked about running a business and we talked about belief in self and also belief in God. What are some other parts that you need in that bag when you're going to go build your business, like that you think is important?
I think that it's important to have an ability to pull back.
Okay.
Or pivot. Pivot is a better word.
Okay.
As an entrepreneur, and even as like a chemist, even if you're not an entrepreneur, or in a lot of things, actually, I'm going to just take that off the table.
Okay.
As anybody, it's important to learn how to pivot. Life is going to throw you curveballs.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't know what's going to happen next week, what's going to happen next month. You don't know what's going to happen in the next hour, you know? So you have to learn how to pivot. You also have to be able to make sure that if something happens, you have a fallback plan.
Yeah.
And so I think that's also something that's in my toolbox,
Yeah.
along with,
Okay.
community, along with just like sense of self-belief,
Yeah.
all of that, that's also included in my toolbox.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
We talked about your toolbox, but let's talk about the process. We always see the product, but we rarely see the process. What are some obstacles you feel like you needed to go through to get this far?
Some obstacles. I will say, okay, so in the beginning, before I actually opened my research and development lab, I was doing e-commerce where I was selling like cosmetic products. So we had like lip gloss, we had lipstick, we had setting powder, we had highlighter, we had like a bunch of different stuff. And so the pivot from e-commerce to research and development, I think, was a necessary step. I had realized that my passion for e-commerce just wasn't really there. I wanted to be in the lab formulating. I didn't want to have to do a lot of like the packaging up and sending to clients and like all the time. So I definitely think that was a necessary part for me. And it was hard to like really come to terms with because I'm leaving one space and going into the next space. But whereas e-commerce, I'm like literally just online. I don't really have to do much. I'm developing the products myself, but after that, I have to go and now sell it. Whereas that's e-commerce, and then I move over to research and development, which is a whole nother ballpark because now I have to formulate the products. I have to make sure that it's going to pass stability testing. I now have to do all of the testing for my clients. I have to find clients too. And so it's intimidating a little bit because it's like, am I going to succeed if I change from e-commerce to research and development? But ever since then, I've been loving it. I love it so much more than just doing e-commerce, and I feel like I'm so much better at it than just selling a product.
Got you.
So.
You talked about pivoting. For somebody who's like looking to you for guidance and they're saying, well, I know that this isn't what I want. How would you walk them through pivoting and deciding on where to go next?
See what your passion is. You have to be realistic with yourself, too, about what your passion is. Like, for me, like I said, I come from a West Indian background, and so it's not conventional that you see people like us, I guess, like going into the beauty industry because a lot of our parents want us to be doctors, engineers, lawyers.
Yes.
So it's like, if you're not one of those, then you have
There's
to
no
do
other
something that
careers
makes
outside
money,
of it. Yeah.
right? So that pivot for me, I'm sorry. This is, I'm having a thing, sorry.
You're fine.
I forgot what the question was.
I apologize. The question was for somebody who's saying they want to pivot. Right?
Yes. Okay. Got you. Yeah. So I would definitely say just to believe in yourself. That's one thing. But to also just be real with yourself about like what it's going to take to get there. So you have to work hard for it. Not everyone's going to believe in you.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to believe in yourself, kind of. And so just being able to make that pivot, you have to like just be realistic, in my opinion.
Got you.
And know that it's going to take hard work because a lot of times if you're pivoting from one industry to another industry, you're going to have to relearn some things. You're going to have to do a lot of prerequisites. You're going to have to, like I did. And so I think that is something that you're going to have to come to terms with if you're pivoting.
Yeah. Pivoting, I think, is definitely a sign of growth. Mm-hmm. There's this old saying there's this old saying that says what's not growing is dead. As you grow as a businesswoman and as a person, what parts of you have to evolve to go to that next level?
Can you say it again? I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I said that there's this saying that what's not growing is dead. Mm-hmm. As you grow as a businesswoman and as a person, what parts of yourself do you feel have to evolve to go to that next level?
Like I said, the imposter syndrome thing I work through, but it's definitely still there sometimes. And so I think that self-confidence is important, especially for me in my industry. Because if you don't believe in yourself, your clients aren't going to believe in you and believe that you can help take their business to the next level. And so I think that that's something that has to evolve within myself is just my self-belief and like the belief that I have in myself and getting rid of the imposter syndrome, getting rid of like the negative thoughts about yourself and really pushing that you really believe in yourself. And I think that's probably the most important thing for me.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
We talked about growing into the next level, but at this level, you've already started to give back. What inspired you to start giving back?
I feel like there weren't a lot of people that look like me in this industry and a lot of entrepreneurs and in STEM fields. And actually in STEM fields, only 8% of the people in those careers are African American. And so I wanted to start a scholarship where I can help other minorities and other women and other people that look like me get into those spaces. Because there's a lot of financial hardships that come with going to college and furthering your education. So I decided that I wanted to help someone who wanted to go to a HBCU, who had the drive. They had not a super high GPA, but a 3.0 or above. And so I see that they have the drive to do it and that they were graduating. So I was able to help, for 2 years now, help 2 students with fees and stuff that come with furthering your education, or maybe you have to buy a computer for your engineering program, or maybe you have to buy equipment in order to for if you want to do photography or something that'll help you live and pay rent and stuff like that while you're in college. So I didn't want it to be you can only use it for school or only use it for books. I wanted them to be able to have the financial freedom to do what they wanted to do with that money, because I know for me, I had a college hustle and that helped me to pay my bills in college. I was able to do makeup on the side, and I had a job and I was doing makeup, and that helped me to really get through the year, if you know what I mean, because a lot of expenses come up. And so if it's okay, I need a quick $50, let me do one person's face really quick. Yeah. And so I wanted people like that who, maybe this money will help them purchase makeup equipment or purchase photography equipment or purchase a laptop to do graphic design or whatever it is. I really wanted to help them take the financial part of it out for furthering their education. And I plan to continue to give back and give back more as well. So that's where I'm growing to, because I want to be able to support a lot of minorities through
Gotcha.
college. So
We're gonna manifest it.
Yes.
What's the next type of scholarship you see yourself doing?
I actually have been thinking about putting together like a gala where like I can invite, I guess, a lot of like high class people and they come in their gowns and stuff and they're
Okay.
able to like do auctions or like, you know, donate to like a nonprofit that I want it to be a nonprofit pretty much where they can
Okay.
donate for and get a tax deductible.
Got you.
And then that money will be used to help further another student's education as
Got
well.
you.
So I think that's the next step. I just have to put the pieces of the puzzle
Whistle
together.
Yeah.
But I've been thinking very heavily on that. So
Got
if
you.
you see that in the future, pull
yeah.
up.
Absolutely, I got you.
Yes.
Giving back to your community is one of the greatest things anyone can do.
Yeah.
In this podcast, Nipsey Hussle said that the highest human act is to inspire. What are you hoping to inspire in the generations that follow?
I'm hoping to inspire, I guess, young Black girls who are interested in STEM and
Okay.
math and science, and they really want to get into, like, I guess, those fields. I really want them to be able to look at me and say, hey, I see her doing hard work and I
Yeah.
want to be like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And that would make me feel so good if they
Yeah.
were able to do that, if I was able to do that for them. I want to teach, people the power of hard work, teach
Yeah.
them that consistency is key.
Yeah.
Staying consistent and keeping your foot on the gas at all times, like that's super important.
Gotcha.
And so I think that they're able to like just see that in me. And also just like the giving back part. Like I want to be able to give back to people, but I want those people to also be able to keep the train going. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And so that's something that my family, and specifically my grandmother, has instilled into me is generosity and being able to like be a philanthropist and help other people get to where you are now.
Gotcha.
And I'm not oblivious to like my privilege.
Yeah.
And so I want to be able to help people get there as well.
Absolutely.
I understand that I had a privilege growing up. And so I want to be able to help other people get to that same place as I am.
Got you. Speaking
Yeah.
of generations to follow, you recently gave birth to a beautiful baby boy.
I did.
How does it feel to be a mom?
Oh, it's the greatest love in the world, honestly. Like, you don't even understand. Like, they always say, like, a mom's love is, like, the greatest thing in the world, but
Yeah.
you can't even really
Replicate it.
comprehend
Yeah.
exactly until you're in that space. And it's just like, I get to have this cute little baby boy, and he's all mine. He's not all mine. He got a daddy, too. But he's all mine, and it's just, he's just the greatest little kid. He's
Got
literally
you.
so cool. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
He lights up my world.
That's great. I'm happy for
It's
you.
hard, but it is the greatest love ever,
Got
really.
you. How is being a mom changed now the routine?
Oh, it has changed a lot because now instead of just, hey, I'm going to the lab, now it's like, okay, I got to find a babysitter and I got to be able to like come home on time, come home at a good time so that I can still spend time with my baby before he goes to bed. And it's
Gotcha.
just like a whole thing that now I have to take into consideration the
Yeah.
fact that I have a child now. So it's definitely switched up the vibes a little bit,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah, that's what that community kicks in, right? You have
Exactly.
mom, you have auntie,
Exactly.
everybody's willing to
And
watch baby
they can
Jamie.
fight over him.
Yeah,
They're like,
of
no,
course.
I'm watching him today. And I'm
Got
like, y'all
you.
can fight about it.
Got
I'm going
you.
to work.
Yeah, got you.
And I have a really supportive baby dad. So
Okay.
he's
Shout out
been
to him.
perfect. Shout out to him.
Listen,
My whole heart. Those two are my whole heart. And he's
Aw.
just been so supportive. And
That's
like
great.
my whole pregnancy, I was super sick and like dying. I wasn't dying, but I had hyperemesis gravidarum, which is like
got you.
the worst type of pregnancy you can have. Like if
Got you.
pregnancy is like rain, what is it? HG is like a thunderstorm. Like that's how they
Jeez.
compare it. So
Goodness.
he's been super supportive during that whole process. So I'm just thankful to have a community and have him.
Shout out to him.
For that. Yeah.
Okay. You were juggling your business ventures while still working a 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
With you taking that step into being a full-time entrepreneur, was there any hesitation to make that move with now having Jamie?
Absolutely, because I got bills and I have a child that needs formula and I have a
Got you.
child that needs diapers and wipes and I have to I have to keep remembering that like I can't just blow all my money on a research and
Yeah.
development lab hoping that it works. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
have to be responsible with my money and I have to make sure that my son is good. And
Yeah,
so
for sure.
that's definitely played a part. It's definitely like a learning curve a little bit. So
Yeah.
I'm learning how to be a good mom and
Of
like
course.
it's definitely an adjustment.
No, I can tell that you're killing it though. Every day I see a
you.
picture of Jamie and he looks so happy with mom and dad.
Thank you.
So
He is a really happy baby.
yes, Good.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna do a game. This is called the top five. What we're
Okay.
gonna do is we're gonna name off some categories,
Okay.
and then after we name those categories, the very last one you're gonna number them from 5 to 1. Okay, going least to greatest. Okay.
Okay. Least
All
to
right.
greatest. Okay.
We're gonna start right now. I want you to give me your top 5 summer songs.
Summer songs, like this summer.
Yeah, this summer, any summer, a song that you hear and you're like, this makes me feel summer. You know what I mean?
Okay. Songs. Okay, let me think. It's gonna have to be something off of Renaissance.
Okay.
I like the song Heated.
Heated. Okay.
We gotta go Drake because I'm about to go to his concert.
Okay. Shout out.
Him and 21. Let me think.
Jumbo Shred.
huh?
Jumbotron, that one?
I was thinking, what's the one? Dang.
Did you hear Oh You Went with him and Young Thug? What about that one?
On Thug's album?
Yeah.
I did hear that. Sorry, I gotta pull it up because
No,
I'm
take your
forgetting the
time.
name of the song. Yeah, I liked it. Do you like his album?
Thug?
Thug.
I know there's a civil war going on right now between Gunna and Thug, and if you
Yeah.
support the one or the other, I love both the music.
Rich
But-
Flex, sorry. That's
Rich
what it
Flex,
was.
okay, that's
Rich
a vibe.
Flex, yes.
But I would say Thug's album was okay. I preferred Gunna's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm a civilian, so I don't got no horse in this race. Okay, I go to my job.
Right.
I come
I am a
home.
lady. I
I'm a
don't get involved
civilian.
in
Like
that
you know,
ghetto
I'm.
stuff.
I
I'm just joking.
don't. I don't got nothing to do with that. I've never stood in front of the judge, so I can't tell you what that's like. Based off the music, though.
Yeah, I did like Gunna's a little
Gunna's
better, yeah.
music. I liked it a lot.
I never been like a huge fan of Thug anyways.
Yeah.
Because
Really?
because like his music was like not something that I like super like vibe
Got
with
you.
a lot. Like I did like his song with like Gucci Mane, Off the Leash.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
really like that one.
Yeah, for sure.
But other than that, I mean, I listen to his music, just not as heavy as like Drake or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, so we're back to the
Sorry.
game. No problem.
No,
So
you're good.
I said Her Loss. I said Heated.
I gotta correct you. Her Loss is an album. So tell me the song.
Oh, Rich Flex. Sorry,
Rich Flex.
Yes. Those were the only two I said.
Yeah, you said Heated.
Okay, this is
Rich
an
Flex.
old song, but Crew
Okay.
Gold Link?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a
that
good one.
definitely makes me feel like summertime vibes.
Okay.
2016.
You're abandoning your heritage right now. I need to hear some dance hall something. Okay.
Mr. Fett.
Mr. Fed. Okay.
And that's a soca song, by the way. I don't know if you know that song.
No, I didn't. I was gonna let it rock though.
Oh yeah, that's a soca song.
My favorite soca song right now is Hard Fat.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my favorite soca song right now.
Okay. And then this is not in any order, but
Of course.
last one is probably Dreams and Nightmares.
Dreams and Nightmares.
Yeah.
I feel like that doesn't count as a summer song. I feel
Yeah,
like
that's
that,
an all year song. You're right. That's a party song, like
for
a
sure.
club jump,
Give me a
like-
party song for the last one though. Besides
A party
Dreams-
song?
Yeah, besides Dreams and Nightmare, give me another party song that you really like. Like when you go to the party and you hear this song, it just instantly
She
takes
like to argue, so I
to
sent that girl to
the
law school.
for sure. R.I.P. to Dolph, man.
Man, rest in peace,
Peace,
that man.
Okay,
Man,
give me
yeah.
your top 5 hairstyles.
Hairstyles.
Yes.
We got a braided pony.
Mm-hmm.
We like a little good Bobbiana.
Okay.
Bust down, jet black, bust down middle part.
Love it.
And then I also like beach waves.
Beach waves. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that 5?
I don't know.
Pony, bob, bust down,
You said beach waves, right?
beach waves. Oh, one more.
How you feel about faux locks?
Faux locks.
Faux locks, okay.
Yeah.
Got you. I have to ask you this question only because, like I said, I did go to high school with you, and I vividly
you about
remember.
to ask me?
I vividly remember us. First of all, in high school, I feel like we should have had a debate team because we were
should have,
we were
honestly.
always debating that senior lounge. If you went to Tacoma Academy, I want you to know that we were the very first class to get a senior lounge, and we got it taken away at
We
least.
got it taken away a
at least
couple
th-
times.
At least 3 times. I know about 3 times for sure.
We
but
almost lost our graduation.
listen, we were the first class to do a prank. We were trendsetters way before that was a thing. But anyway, I vividly remember us being in AP language class or AP literature class. It was one of those classes.
Oh, Lord. With Miss Consuegra?
With Miss Consuegra. And I remember we were talking about movies, and Milan just blurted out, "I hate He Got Game." And it was a war. It was a war. I remember vividly me and Washington be like, "How dare you talk about Ray Allen like that?" So
I like Ray Allen though. I was a Celtics fan. Like
yes, I
growing up.
understand. But now I have to ask you, what are your top 5 movies?
movies?
Yes.
Okay, I like chick flicks. I'm not
Okay.
gonna lie to you. So, Jumping the Broom.
Okay, that's beautiful.
I like the Titanic. That's a classic.
Okay.
That's a classic.
Okay.
I like comedies.
Friday? Not in the top 5.
I like The Wood.
The Wood. Okay, I would consider that kind of like a chick flick for the hood type of movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
For sure.
I don't know if it's in my top 5 though. Let me think. Yeah, I'll throw it in there. Top 5. And then I like 7 Pounds with Will Smith.
Okay.
And then I like The Pursuit of Happiness.
The Pursuit of Happiness.
There's so many movies I like because I like Denzel Washington.
Give me
too.
some more. Give me some more.
Flight.
Flight. Okay, that was a really good movie.
Yeah.
Can we be honest? And this is completely offsides, but this isn't what we were talking about. Can we admit that Denzel is like the Michael Jordan of acting?
Yeah, but I think but I feel like he's like the male Gabrielle Union because they play the same character every movie. You know what I mean? Like
I understand. Michael Jordan did the same moves every time, but they went in. You know what I'm saying?
you feel?
So
I feel you.
exactly.
I feel you.
Okay.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
He's probably one of my favorite actors.
Yeah, for sure.
Denzel and Will Smith are my top favorite actors.
Yeah, I would say Denzel and Idris are up there for me when it comes to top
I
act.
love Idris.
Okay, we're talking about acting though.
Oh my gosh,
we're talking
I love
about
it.
acting.
That's a good movie too. Takers.
Takers, yeah, phenomenal.
Yeah, that's a good movie too.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, dang, I forgot about Takers.
Yeah, that's
Who
a
else was in that
throwback.
movie? Michael Ealy was in that movie.
T.I.
Chris Brown. I
Chris
wonder what
Brown.
the budget for that movie was because they had a lot of people in there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, last one.
Zoe Saldana.
Zoe, I don't know
Yeah.
how they afforded her because
Yeah.
that's a big bag. But anyway, I want you
All
to
of them, bro.
all of them. Yeah, because Chris Brown. You said Chris Brown's in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's at least 5 M's right there. But anyway, give me your top 5 for this generation. Who would you say the top 5 most influential women are?
Michelle Obama. This is not in any order.
We're going from 5 to 1. This is the last.
This is the last one,
This
5
is
to
the last
1?
one. 5 to 1.
Okay. Okay, I gotta think.
Take your time.
Okay, number 5. I'm gonna say, most influential. I don't know if I can go in order. Okay.
You have to. It's the last one. I'm sorry. I said the rules before.
You did. Okay, let me see.
Can I throw out some names and then
Sure.
Okay. Let's start out with the obvious, Beyonce.
Hey, that was on my list.
Okay. Let's just throw out some
Yeah.
names.
Okay, I said Beyonce, Michelle Obama.
Okay. Beyonce. Oprah. Rihanna.
I don't think she's top most influential.
Okay.
I think Kris Jenner a little influential. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Okay. All right.
She's a little influential. You feel
Okay.
me? And then one more. Let me think.
Meg.
I don't think she's the top influence. Like I feel like there's a lot of women that are more influential than her. She's influential, of course.
Nicki Cardi.
I don't like this person, but I'm gonna have to say Nicki. Like
Nicki,
she's
okay.
very influential, but like there's just a lot of stuff.
Okay, so
you
we're gonna rank.
I'm a Cardi fan. I will say that,
Okay.
but Nicki definitely has more. I think
I'm a
lot
fair
of-
person, so we can split their spot. Okay.
Okay, sure.
So we're
Sure, sure.
gonna rank them because that's the rules. If I let you slide on the first episode, nobody's ever gonna listen to them. So I'm gonna just assume for you, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. I'm gonna put Kris Jenner at 5.
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm gonna probably catch some flack.
No, I'm gonna put Cardi, Nicki at 5,
Okay. Cardi, Nicki at 5.
and then I'm gonna put Kris Jenner at 4,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna put. I'm gonna put Oprah at 3.
I think that's respectable. Yeah.
Yeah. Michelle Obama and then Beyonce.
I think that's
I
a fair
think
list.
Beyonce is the most influential woman
Yeah, absolutely.
in the world right now.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Probably.
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna end it. We're gonna end now on a more serious note.
Okay.
I had this conversation with the theology major about the scope of ministry.
Mm-hmm.
He said some people are called and some people just go. Callings aren't specific to ministers. In the work that you do you believe that you were called to it or you just went to it?
I believe that I was called into it just because I feel like God has ordered my steps in such a way that like I would not be where I am today without his guidance and leading me. So I really feel like I was called to be here. And just the fact that like I got into this industry so quickly and I blew up so quickly in this industry and I'm, a lot of people know me now. I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I didn't feel like that all the time, but now I especially feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Got you.
And so I definitely feel a calling to be here.
Got you.
So, yeah.
You say a lot of people know you now. Do you feel like there was one particular thing that really put you over?
There was, but it was a lot of like building up. So
Got you.
I will say, like, I did a lot of interviews and a lot of like podcasts and stuff like that just to get my name out there.
For
and
sure.
so I think that helped build my social media following a little bit.
Okay.
But there was one video in particular that like blew up on Instagram, went viral, and that's how I got a lot of my followers.
Okay.
And so that post, I guess, is what really took me over the edge. So now I'm like verified on Instagram, and now I'm like, I have 20-something thousand followers or whatever. And so I think my influence now is a lot more like people see it now for real versus before. And so I think that it was a culmination of a lot of things.
Yeah.
Building that following, I guess, up until the point that I made that video that blew up. I think it blew up because I had been doing that pre-work.
Got you.
Meeting with people and getting my name out there and getting my business out there. So
okay.
Yeah.
Last question. When carving your own path, it is so important to define success for yourself. That way, success and failure can only be measured by you. So, what is success looking like for you when it's all said and done?
I want to be able to have the freedom to live my life, honestly. Okay. So that's success for me. I want to be able to like say, I'm not going to work today. I'm going to Target with my baby. And I get to like be the type of mother that I want to be, where I can just play hooky one day and go play with my baby and take a weekend trip to Mexico or something like that.
Got you.
That's success for me because it gives me like the freedom to like do what I want to do, the freedom to live my life. And I'm not tied down to one specific job or like one specific place. I can go freely. Me and my child and my family, we can move freely. We can go visit Jamaica or something if I wanted to. I want to be able to have that freedom to do that and raise my child. I don't want to have to be like calling up someone on my calling on my boss or something and saying, "Can I go?" I don't want to have to ask for permission. You know what I mean? For sure. And so I think that's like freedom for me, is being able to like do that.
Got you. Outside of the freedom, outside of the monetary, though, what else would success look like for you?
Happiness. I think that having a happy life is the most important thing in the world. Money can't make you happy.
Got you.
Nothing can make you, family can make you happy, but I'm saying like money and the financials and the bills and all that stuff, that can make you, that not making me happy or sad is what freedom is to me, and like success is to me. Like I'm able to, like, whether the bills are piling up or whether I have no bills right now, I want to be able to say I'm happy. And that's what success is to me.
Well, Milana, I want to say thank you for coming on the show. Before you go, please tell the people where they can find you.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, Rich. You can find me on Instagram. I go by The Cosmoscientist, and that's the COSMESCIENTIST. So The Cosmoscientist on Instagram, on Threads, on TikTok, and then on Twitter, I'm The Cosmoscientist. Just Cosmoscientist, no the.
Okay. So. Is there anything that we should be on the lookout for?
Yes. Okay. So we are dropping a baby care line in the very near future.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes. So we are launching skincare and bath care for babies.
Got you.
And that's my son Jamie, he's gonna be the face of the brand.
Got you.
And so we're able to do that for him. So yes, be on the lookout for that. And I also forgot to say, you can visit my website, Keishana.com. That's KESEANA.com.
Got you. I want to say a big thank you to Ethan. I want to say a big thank you to Andrew. This has been Evolve. Thank you for listening. Thank you to the viewers. Thank you to everybody. And don't be afraid to grow. Thank you.
Thank you.